Good, whatever time of the day it is you are listening to us. This is the PNA Podcast Express Quick Trip number 18. No, 18. Yes. Did I get that right?
18. You pulled that out of your ass.
I did. I truly did. That came right out of me bum.
Congratulations.
He is Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. My cousin Mike Nichols, here to join us for this quick trip. You can email us, speaking of arseholes, at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com.
I think he aimed that at you.
No, because I pulled episode 18 out of my arsehole. That it was episode Quick Trip 18.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Mike. Well, either is applicable.
Well, we're all the asshole in somebody's story, remember. That's the mantra in life. No matter who you are out there in life, you are the asshole in someone's story. You know,
or everyone's.
Or everyone. But yeah, I mean, we all have friends who are assholes in everyone's story. That is true. You can also email us at pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com. That's Pine Nutella Alpha Podcast Express. Week.
Gay!
Yes, it was.
So any karate kicks to the crotch?
I just put way too big of a
hunk of beef jerky in your mouth. Mm-hmm. Here's one. So here's what I found. This is 100% bullshit round here. We love our beef jerky. You know that about this podcast. This podcast was basically, you know, instead of we built this city on rock and roll, we pretty much built this podcast on beef jerky. I found this bullshit. Get this. They make a mushroom jerky. And here's what it says. It's a meat-free jerky. Gives jerky lovers everywhere an option with a lower carbon footprint than the beef industry produces. Why we love it. This zesty mushroom jerky became an instant favorite of our head of sustainability, Jamie. He's known to sing its praises, saying, I can be particular when it comes to food texture, but Pan's is no dried out mushroom. It's perfectly seasoned and it has quite the pleasing, almost meaty texture. So this bullshit is fucking mushroom jerky, zesty Thai flavor. Check out that bullshit. What the fuck?
What in the vegan hell is that?
Garbage.
Yeah, and get this, it's $7.50 a bag. They're asking the same price for this shit as they would for a comparable sized bag of actual real 100% American grass-fed beef.
Well,
mushrooms are not expensive.
These are shiitake mushrooms, by the way. Shiitake mushrooms, yes. The first ingredient, get this. This is how you know it's going to be floofy-noofy. The first two ingredients, organic dried shiitake mushrooms, avocado oil. Get the fuck out of here.
What in the living? I tell you.
I'm angered by this.
And you know what? Millions of people will go out and buy it.
No, I'm thinking it's more in the tens.
I can guarantee...
There's a lot of people are vegan now. It's disgusting.
Here's our guarantee to you, and I think Adam will buy in this, Mike, you'll buy in too. Any jerky we sample on this show will be meat-based. It might not necessarily be beef, but it's going to have something that was once alive and had to breathe air or swim in the water as a basis.
Well, I want to try that just to ridicule it.
That might be an interesting experiment. So if you'd like for that to happen, donate $7.50 to the show. That way, because I'm not paying for this bullshit.
No,
never.
Aren't mushrooms kind of dry to begin with?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how much work do you have to do to make a dried mushroom?
Especially
shiitake
mushrooms.
Shiitake. Mm-hmm. Shit take, basically.
Shit take.
Yep. If you want to impress me, make it out of portobellos.
Yeah.
It's still be garbage.
Well, yeah, it would be.
But what the fucking holy hell is this?
I mean,
mushroom jerky.
Now, I did see where somebody was making a low-carb burger option, and they made their bun out of a portobello mushroom. That I can get behind.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It was beef sandwich in between two halves of a portobello mushroom. Looked good to me.
That would
look good to me.
Remember when KFC made their chicken sandwich? Chicken sandwich?
The double down?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was just two chicken patties?
Yeah. And
pure heart attack.
Yeah. Those were great. I'm probably only still alive today because they discontinued that.
Colonel Sanders, bring it back. Finish him.
So yeah,
I just had to get that out there first thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I
It's
couldn't,
okay.
you know-
I'm depressed now thinking that there's people that are like, oh man, I really need to get some of that.
I literally discovered this on the break, and I had to contain my anger, so that was the most difficult part.
Well, seriously, you ever notice all these meat substitutes? They're never like, what, this is better. The meat, it's always like,
Never.
oh, this is kind of like beef, or
You know,
kind of like
here's
chicken.
Here's the thing. What does every meat substitute compare itself to? Meat.
Right.
So
And
that's like lesbians wearing a strap on. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah. Yep.
And if you hate men so much, why are you trying to look like one?
Exactly. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know, the overwhelming thing here, like you see that Impossible Whopper,
Yeah.
you can't tell the
Terrible.
difference. It's almost exactly like meat. Well, that almost is,
exactly. That's a big
Yeah.
fucking step. That almost.
yeah.
Like, I almost went to an Ivy League school. I
Yeah.
almost had a big dick. I almost am successful.
I'll refute the second one, but all the other ones are plausible that it could have been possible. But yeah, I'm just, they always try and tout that we are just like what we're trying to emulate, and you're not.
You're not. No. First of all, if you've got to tell me that bullshit, then get the fuck out of here.
Right. Right. Let it speak for itself. Just replace meat with it.
Yeah.
And when I go, this isn't meat, go, yeah, but it's real close, right?
Close is only good with hand grenades and horseshoes. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, so way to start off the show with disappointment. What do we think about our
Hey.
gas station bought?
My parents are disappointed every day, so it's no big deal.
Yes, that is true. What do you think of our peppered Jack Link's beef jerky?
So I decided to go a little more generic. So I got Jack Link's Meat Snacks peppered beef jerky. It's seasoned with cracked black pepper. And you know what? It exceeded my expectations.
Now,
It's
does
not
this-
terrible, but it's not good. It has good texture. The pepper really comes through. It's flavorful. It's a solid effort. I'd give it about a 6 out of 10.
Now, does this, being that it's cracked black pepper, does this throw away the whole theory that black don't crack?
I guess it really does. I mean, the answer was in the question, but yeah. So Jack Link's has found a way to make black crack.
Good on them.
Not hook blacks on crack, but make black crack.
To crack black.
Yes. Jack Black, crack black.
Jack Link's.
Crack black.
Jack Black had nothing to do with any of this.
No.
Where did you pull that
And Jack
from?
Black is white.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck Jack Black. He sucks.
And the Wayans brothers were in White Chicks. It all comes full circle.
That's it. That's it. Right there.
Full circle. We brought it around. For those of you who thought, how are they going to connect this back up? And boom, there we are. Male and female. Bam.
Click.
Yep.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
What can
Sorry,
I say?
I didn't mean to
except
gender
you're
shame anybody.
welcome. Yeah. I
We
don't
put
know.
together two neutral plugs. I don't know.
So my friend is a dick, and here's why. He once tried to feed me one of those fucking fake bean burgers on the grill, saying, "Oh no, it's try this," and I'm like, "It's a fucking hamburger, dude. I know what I'm getting into here." It was one of those fucking bean burgers from back in the day, and this is back before they made anything near or impossible. This was just terrible. This tasted like a fucking gym sock that had been in the bottom of the locker after it had been fucking running a marathon, and thrown on the grill and seasoned with garlic.
My wife has made black bean burgers before that are pretty good. I mean, it's
Like black beans on their own, I appreciate. Frijoles negros, I'm big on those.
yes, it was good, but does it replace a hamburger? No, not even close.
Gross.
I would eat it like if she made me like I would eat a salmon patty, you know.
Right.
But it does not replace meat.
Here's what I would do. The last black bean burger that I had, I would actually throw a slice of cheese on top of that, then a slice of cheese on top of the real hamburger, and then top it with the bean burger with cheese on it.
Well, let me ask you this.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing with vegans is they don't want to eat anything that could cause pain, suffering, or death to another being. And they seem satisfied with that.
Right.
Me, I'm happier eating something knowing that something has died.
That's right.
Knowing that the continuation of my life is dependent upon the termination of something else.
Like one of my favorite sandwiches I've ever had. I was down south at this one establishment, and it was a fried chicken sandwich with an egg on top, topped with country gravy. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that just gets the chickens in all directions and the pork gravy. Oh man.
Well, and you think about it, it's like, all right, I'm hitting. This could be a generational.
That's right.
Meal here. This could be a multi-generational meal.
Of course.
And that makes you feel good.
It does.
Keeping the family together.
You know what it made feel good? My stomach.
Yes.
It was
yes.
wonderful.
Well, I've told you the story about my Maverick burger, right?
Yeah.
So it was in Canada. I seen a Maverick burger, didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, it's going to be like a Southwest burger. No, it was horse.
Yeah.
And horses are tasty.
They are. I went to Canada specifically to get a horse burger. I think I told you that too once I turned 18.
Yep.
And I said, I went to a restaurant supposedly that was renowned for their horse burgers. And let me tell you what, there should be a lot less horses alive and more should be on tables.
Well, I did get asked by somebody, did you feel bad if you found out that was a horse? I was like, nay.
Nay.
I don't think that was the right answer for that person.
I don't think that's what they were looking for. So my first time, that's a good lead-in. So my first time, you'll have that on these big jobs. So my first time, I'm going down to Tennessee. We drove like a late afternoon, so we got there really late. It was early in the morning hours, and we were with this guy who's appropriately nicknamed Hillbilly. Hillbilly, great guy, fantastic guy. We were going down there for a raccoon hunt with blue tick hounds. So we're in the deep backwoods of fucking somewhere in Timbuktu, Tennessee. It's fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, and Hillbilly says, I know where we can go for breakfast. So it's a fucking bar, and it's open. There's like 8 people in there. And we walk in, and everybody's like, Hillbilly, how you doing? And they're like, I'm like, how the fuck do you know people here? He's like, I get around a little bit. And so we go to order breakfast, and the lady brings over a plate full of biscuits and gravy for everybody and sets them in front of us. And we're like, oh, we haven't ordered yet. And she says, no, every biscuits and gravy are just complimentary. We give them to everybody that comes in here and eats breakfast. I said, this is my kind of fucking establishment.
Well, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm like, who would have thought? I'm like, that was the greatest experience ever. Like, you bring over a biscuit and gravy, like, immediately, and that's your appetizer for your breakfast.
Yeah, like you'd get
Yeah.
salsa and chips at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it compares very much to.
Well,
what a great concept. If you have a restaurant, a breakfast joint, do that. Offer complimentary, just a single biscuit and sausage gravy as a complimentary warm-up to your meal, just like you said, salsa and chips at a Mexican joint. Brilliant, right?
I would definitely eat there all the time,
Yeah.
and I'd probably weigh about 400 pounds.
Well, have you been down south?
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't live down there.
They would call you tiny.
Yeah, we're little guys down there.
Your
All
nickname
three of
was
us
tiny.
are.
Yeah.
All 3 of us are little, and all of us are well over 200 pounds. So, yeah, we'd be small there. I'm big in Japan, though.
Well, you'd have to go to a bigger and not so tall store.
Oh, Godzilla!
Big, tall, and inbred.
Oh, man!
Wah, wah.
No, this is it.
Oh, yeah, West Williams, I'm going home.
So my grandparents they lived in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And every meal had like biscuits and gravy with it. Like you're having spaghetti, biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. There's
was-
never a wrong time to have biscuits and gravy.
No,
Never.
And if you had spaghetti, it was okay to not have gravy on your biscuits and use them like garlic bread. But there was no garlic in them or anything like that. And if you mentioned like, oh, are we having garlic bread with it? It was like, huh? What's wrong with you, boy?
Oh, damn.
Whoa, what's
So
wrong with you?
here's reason probably 742 why I'm fat. One of my favorite things to do when I'm eating spaghetti is just take some simple, cheap white bread, butter the shit out of it, and just load it with spaghetti and eat a spaghetti sandwich.
Yes.
So good.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah. No, I will do that. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little garlic salt on it.
yeah. Yeah.
Toast. Make toast.
See, it blew my
Water,
kid's mind one day
garlic
because
salt.
I had a bunch. We were having spaghetti, and I had like some hamburger buns left over. So I just melted some butter with some garlic and garlic salt, and then just crushed it on it and toasted them. My kids are like, "You could do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." That's what do you think?
Yep.
You think garlic bread just comes from the freezer? And yeah.
And you were like,
somebody had to make it somehow, somewhere.
I have such things to show you.
They said, "You're a culinary artiste."
Yeah. And you're like,
the people that think milk comes from the grocery store.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Oh, milk comes from the grocery store. Or the people that think, speaking of your vegan asshole people out there, that it's wrong to milk cows and consume it. Trust me, cows want to be milked. I did it for years. Sometimes they'd be feeling so much pressure they would rush into the pharmacy.
Yeah. You're doing them a favor.
Yeah, it's not harming them.
And like so much so that when they're ready, they just come in to get milk.
And the milk will just be squirting out too sometimes.
Oh yeah, they just straight up leak it.
Well, that's the other issue that they have is, well, that cow is bred to breed like that. No, it pretty much did that on its own.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Just like with bacon and eggs. I mean, the chicken contributed, but the pig committed.
Yes. Well, you know, when people are like, "Oh, cows are bred for that," it's like, you sick fuck. You think they're breeding, like the farmers are breeding cows? It's cows breeding with each other.
That's right. It's nature. And
boy, I don't want to see their search history.
And you're bred to be an idiot.
Yes. Yes.
So these are the same people too, though, that get all butthurt about the methane that the cows produce.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want you to kill them.
The bogosphere. Yes.
But there's too many of them at the same time.
Yeah.
It's killing the atmosphere, you know.
But yet at one time there were more buffalo roaming North America than... You can't tell me buffalo farts have got to be at least on par, if not more drastic than cow farts.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. They're big horned beasts out there roaming the plains.
And you know that, I mean, if a buffalo's having fucking stomach issues, there's gonna be some hellacious... Once again, I'm talking about farts. Farts coming out of that animal.
Full circle.
Speaking of buffalo,
Yeah.
I went down to Oklahoma pig hunting here about 2 years ago, and one of the good old boys from down there that we're hunting with told us, if you guys want to shoot a buffalo, I know a guy. He raises buffalo, and for $100, you can go and shoot one. That's like, for $100. He goes, yeah, you can't keep it. You're just shooting it for somebody to get.
So you're just ending
buffalo
its life, yeah. But the meat is used.
It's used. It's used. But it was just one of those deals. Like, wow. I never thought I would ever have the option to shoot a buffalo. We mulled it over, but we decided we didn't have the time, and we figured, well, it's not the last time we're going to come down here and hunt, so we'll do it another time. So that's definitely a thing that's going to be on my list now.
Well, we have another item on the list, too, because I have a friend who lives in Lafayette, Louisiana, and he has connections to take us out to kill a true apex predator, go gator hunting.
Oh, yes.
We want to do that.
You know, I can tell you, when I used to work for an unnamed bank, my boss and I would go down, and he'd always book us a house that we'd stay in on the river.
Yeah.
It was on the St. Johns River, and I can tell you that hunting gators would not be a challenge. Because you could go along that river, and they'd just be laying there. I mean, huge gators, just be laying there. They might be right inside the boat. They might be up on a log. You could pop them with I watch those guys on TV shoot them with a 22 between the eyes. You could walk right up to them and do it, and they aren't going to move. So, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool.
Yeah.
And you might end up with a new pair of shoes and an interesting jerky to bring. But
I do have some gator jerky. Actually, now that you mention it, I have some
challenge
Cajun
just wouldn't
gator
be there.
jerky. Yeah. Although my boy wants to try it. He keeps looking at the package. I'm going to have to bring that in for sample, and then he'll have to try some.
Yeah.
Gator jerky. Although he's even leery about eating venison. I don't understand what's wrong with the kid.
Yeah.
Have you ever been out to Stice's out in Lexington? They have alligator bites.
Yeah, yep.
As an appetizer. They're good. They're really good.
It tastes like chicken.
It does. Chewy chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken except for shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah.
Go
It
fuck
tastes like
yourself.
garbage.
Yeah.
Why are they trying to replicate beef? It would seem like chicken would be a much easier goal.
Well, I think somebody that works for them is probably, like you said, a fucking vegan or whatever, and they're like, what are we going to do for me? I like our Thai spices. hey, let's freeze dry some fucking mushrooms and throw it on it. You know, that'll pacify your stupid ass. Right?
Yeah.
Even gay people are saying that's fucking gay.
Yeah.
True story.
Most gay people, I think, like me.
Pretty sure Richard Simmons prefers dick.
I said that on the air.
Yeah. Well, that was the worst one. And my mom's like, I never did that to you. When I told the story about how I wanted to dress up like Kiss and Gene Simmons, and she thought I said Richard Simmons, and I said, that was a cold and terrible Halloween.
That was the third Halloween I was in sequins.
In short shorts. It's sweating to the oldies. I said Gene Simmons, Mom.
Oh, man, your poor mom.
I know. And I want to play my stand-up. She has it on recording, but she won't release it to me because the one of the two stories she said I can never tell on this podcast is that night I did as part of my stand-up. One of the two stories.
How did it go over?
Well, I ended up damn near getting arrested and banned from Steeces for quite a while.
Oh, this was in Lexington.
Because it was open mic night, and everybody showed up with their stupid fucking acoustic guitars, playing the same three chords, singing a fucking, singing bullshit like that, or, and anyway, so I goes on, and I'm doing my comedy, and I'm not working clean, and you can imagine, I could work clean now. I built my repertoire up quite a bit, but I could not work clean then. And it was 9:45 at night, and there were still some kids in the bar eating with their parents, and I was drunk. So I said, hey, it's 9:45 and you've got kids in the bar. Good fucking parenting. And then they said, they kicked me off the stage, but they said, you can go on later when it's an older crowd.
We didn't learn our lesson.
So you see, what had happened was, I proceeded to drink more, and they put me on stage at 11:15, and I told some pretty off-colored jokes, and then one was about a story about my mother and something that had happened. It was a true story, also, by the way. I just, I spiced it up a little bit. So they wanted to take the mic away from me, so I refused to give up the mic and said they're trying to censor me, and then they shut off the audio equipment, and I fucking went haywire. And apparently I had the owner of the bar in a chokehold, one-handed, lifting him off the ground, and something happened with my friend that was there. He ended up on the floor, and I turned and pointed at the whole bar and circled around and said, I'm going to kick all of your asses. And
that'll do it.
One of my good friends that was there that I worked with at the time cuffed me beside the ear a couple times and said, Phil, it's time to go. Phil, it's time to go. And all of a sudden I came to my senses, lowered the gentleman back to his feet, went out the front door of the bar to the parking lot where 2 local cops, town cops, and 2 county sheriffs were waiting for me. And they said, what had happened in there? And I said, I was just trying to do comedy, sir. They didn't find it funny.
My man.
I was not their brand.
Yeah. He then said, well, what is your plan now? I'm like, I'm not in any trouble, am I? He's like, no one's complained officially, and we just talked to the owner of the bar. He doesn't want to press any charges, although it sounds like he could. I said, well, I appreciate that. I said, well, I'm going to drive home. And the officer says, wait a minute. You've had a lot to drink. I'm like, yes, I've had a lot to drink. He's like, before I let you drive, how about you take a breathalyzer, you and your friend, and if either one of you are under the legal limit, we'll let you drive home. We were far from the legal limit. So then my mother was there watching the show, which is the best of it, too. She was there watching the show, had laughed about all my bits, especially the one that got me kicked off the stage and shut down, and I had to call her to come back and pick me up and give me a ride, and I felt shame. That was a low point.
It's like Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, my mother had said, you really, in so many words, you need to get your shit together.
So you got a lecture.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Would really love to have an audio recording of that.
The lecture? Oh, it was outstanding. And of course, Jared was the friend that was there. Nothing good ever happened when I hung out with Jared or Jared lived with me. We always got into, because the dude straight up just drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks. I call it vodka week when I was living in Mason before I got my shit together. We literally spent a week, I think I called into work for 3, we started on a Friday night. I called into work for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And between those 5 days, for almost a full week, between him and I, we finished off 17 fifths of Absolute vodka, various flavors. Yeah. And I don't remember much of it. Like, we were drinking in shifts. Like, you drink for 4 or 5 hours, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, get up, drink for 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. It was terrible. I sent out some unsavory emails to some friends. A couple of them are no longer my friends, probably because of that. And yeah, it was not in a good place.
No, it doesn't sound like you were in any place at all.
No, but I straightened that shit out.
Well, that's plus,
Yeah.
and hence it landed you here.
Yeah, on this wonderful podcast, number 76 in Israel.
73. We're up
73
3.
Israel. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So thank you, all you people fighting over the Holy Land.
We appreciate
We're not
it.
going to pick a side because we appreciate both of you. All of you? Many of you?
Some.
We want to pick a side?
No.
Okay. It's best not to get involved.
Picking a side would break my apathy streak that I have going.
My apathy streak.
I have a severe streak of apathy going, and I'm pretty happy about it.
So in that story, my friend is a dick, and here's why I was the dick that got. So they said for open mic night anymore, they're not allowing experiment. They wouldn't allow comedy. Nobody had ever done it. I'm like, it's open mic. In my mind, when you hear open mic, because I did stand up, open mic means comedy. No, open mic meant assholes with little to no talent would bring their acoustic guitars and sing Gordon Lightfoot songs. You know.
So you should have mentioned to them, say, well, what I do is not comedy.
That's right.
Obviously. It's tragedy.
It's tragedy. That's right.
I'm the crying face in the theater.
That's right. You know, I presented most of that material in Seattle at points, and it did very well. Just here's
You gotta remember that Thumb's like 20 years behind the rest of the world.
Right, right.
We do get yesterday's sunlight here.
So, basically, my major attempts at comedy or heckling or anything are well documented and very terrible. Vis-a-vis the Jay Hollingsworth incident and also the incident at Steese's in Lexington. Yeah.
But now you have, like, 18 quick trips to your...
Under my belt.
Under your belt,
Yeah.
and 50, I believe 56 episodes, something like that.
Holy shnikes. By the way, you uploaded the live show finally.
Yeah, it'll be going live. It should be a couple days ago, so go and find it. I had to remaster the audio, the only editing I've ever done on the show. And I had to remaster the audio.
Too.
Yeah, it was. It took a long time because we're talking some huge files.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of audio. I think it's close to 4 hours worth of stuff, I think.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you at all.
Holy cow.
So it's expansive, and it's good. I've had to listen to it
Numerous
quite a bit,
times.
and it's solid stuff.
What are some of the high points of it?
Well, obviously the young ladies that stop by and our conversations with them.
Yes.
Very enlightening if you're trying to hook up with like a 21-year-old to 23-year-old chick.
And do all the work. They don't like to be on top.
Yes, very enlightening for that.
Yeah.
So that does me no good. It really does none of us.
Did
good
I
this
have any
table anyway.
epiphanies in that one? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were when you came in. Your line of questioning probably helped the fellas out more than mine did.
Okay. That's fair.
I was, we'll say, a gentleman,
Yeah, I was not.
and you were less of a gentleman. But that was the best part. I'll be honest.
It was kind of a Hail Mary by me because I figure everything I've done in the past has never worked in these situations. So why not try doing I tried to do the opposite.
And that didn't work either.
No, but it's entertaining.
It was. So you'll be able to get the audio of Phil crashing and burning.
Like I said, it's a Hail Mary, and it wasn't like Aaron Rodgers throwing a Hail Mary. That's for sure.
So I at that point, I drank quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I have a question if you remember something. You kept the one young lady sitting directly to your right.
Yeah.
You kept adjusting her mic for her because she put it in terrible placement to hear her.
Right.
And I thought I saw at one point she swatted your hand away when you...
She might have.
Do you remember anything with that?
I do. She's like,
seemed
what?
off foot.
I couldn't hear her in my ears. So,
Well, no, she was...
Yeah.
Her microphone was like 6 foot away on a headset mic.
well, and the things she was saying were things that I wanted our listeners to hear.
Yeah.
Because she was fucking hot.
And
She was a smoke show, wasn't
and
she?
pretty open about her preferences to things.
Like, that's, I mean, the last time I was probably beside two women that attractive, I had to pay for it.
Yeah. Normally, if you don't have a stack of money out
Right.
to hand them periodically, they're not going to stick around that long.
Yeah.
It wasn't Visco's, was it?
No.
No. It was
I
here.
just had to make sure.
We're waiting for Bisco's to open back up because we'll do a live podcast from Bisco's.
Yeah, why not?
We'll promote the shit out of their business.
We might be the most attractive thing in Bisco's if we go
I
do
can't
that.
believe they ever shut down because, I mean, I'm pretty sure coronavirus came from that.
Yeah, that's where it originated.
I mean,
That's where the bat came from that was eaten in China.
Yeah.
They shipped it over from the Bisco's bat. Yeah.
We are well past the quick trip level here, and this has been a shit show. So
Okay.
they all are.
I didn't talk about farts that much.
They're.
You know, we're
This
gonna
is no better or no worse than
we're gonna
anything
have
else
to
we've
get
ever
out of here,
done.
but I do have a report from J.R. Jupiter he wants to file, but he's vacationing right now, so he's okay.
Okay.
So next week, J.R. Jupiter will have a report.
Okay. We forgot to check in with him, and that's probably my fault.
He just sent me a text that said boats and hose, so that I don't know what the fuck it's going to be about.
Yeah.
If you have any guesses, email us. J.R. Jupiter just said boats and hose.
Yeah, let us know what you think he might be letting us in on next week.
Yeah.
So he'll probably have 2 reports.
He's currently vacationing in the year 1872. He said it was a simpler time.
Boats and hose in 1872 generally means
No, he's vacationing in 1872. I asked him when the report for boats and hose was, and he said early 1900s.
oh, okay, so like
Yeah.
a steamboat.
Yeah, it could be.
Probably still has a lot to do with syphilis.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be riddled with syphilis.
Yeah, and rickets.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. See, J.R. Jupiter, he has the advantage because syphilis isn't a death knell for him because he can time travel. So
Right.
he can just bang anybody all willy-nilly because he's got the advantage of penicillin.
Right.
The availability, because he can just pop into the 70s, 80s, or 90s at some point. Even come see us today. Like he was on the live show too, by the way.
Yeah.
He actually interviewed us.
Yep.
So, so he popped into 2021 for a bit, and he said, "What a fucking shit show."
Oh yeah, he left pretty quick.
Yeah, he left very quickly.
He's like the only bigger train wreck than your podcast is 2021.
That's right. I mean, I've never seen the DeLorean hit 88 miles per hour that quickly.
No, the 1.21 gigawatts was just absolutely going off the charts. All right, so should we?
Yeah. What are we
wrap
at? 30
this?
minutes?
34.
Still a quick trip.
Yeah, quicker than normal.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap things up. Adam Filkins, Phil Nickel, Mike Nickel, PNA Podcast Express, pineapple@gmail.com, PNA Podcast Express@gmail.com. Make good choices.